Hey everybody, welcome back to the Swiss Bricks YouTube channel. Here for a little bit of a different style video that I haven't done before, but I've been getting some questions, so this is kind of a question and answer video on having a bigger Lego collection. So yeah, let's get right into it. I have my points here that we're going to be talking about today. The first one is obviously what it costs to have a collection like this. I do have an app that I track my Lego on that I've also made a separate video about. And on that app, you can also see the value of all these sets that I have. And on there, it's roughly about $50,000. So, yeah, big number. It's obviously it takes into account the retail Lego price, so a lot of these sets I've gotten for under that because I don't buy them directly from Lego all the time. Um, Try to go to Bricklink as much as I can to find some good deals, but yeah. So that's not exactly the amount that I've spent, but if you were to buy all these from Lego, that's how much it would cost you. And obviously all these shelving units around here, I think these were about $2,500 for all of them. So you have to also take that into account. That also includes these units here that I have the Lego City on. But yeah, that's also kind of a big investment that you kind of have to do either as you collect or as I moved into this place here. I bought all of them at the same time so I could set them all up and yeah, kind of organize the sets how I would like, and don't have to worry about yeah, not having enough space or shelving units for each theme that I kind of organize the sets by. So yeah, obviously the cost is the biggest thing with Lego. It's not getting any cheaper, it seems. So yeah, higher costs, and that kind of begs the question: do you go to another company that also makes sets like these? I personally have never had anything besides Lego, just because I think there's something kind of special about Lego. But obviously, we saw with the Death Star here, the first Lego set ever to be over $1,000, and for me personally, it was not worth that amount of money here in Switzerland. I think it was about 1,050 Swiss francs, which is even more in US dollars. I said about 650 US dollars, I think, would have been a pretty good price point for it. Obviously, still a lot of money, but nonetheless better than the $1,000. But yeah, cost is the main thing with Lego and having a collection like this. Uh, the second point here kind of goes along with that. It is deciding how you want to display your Lego sets. So as you can see to my left here, this is kind of my Star Wars area. Also behind me here, I kind of like to break it up by theme. I think that's, yeah, cool way to do it. Apart from the Lego City here, obviously most of those are the modular buildings. And up here you can kind of see I have a space theme. I also have my Lord of the Rings and Disney that you've probably already seen in a different video. So that's kind of like how I want to do that. But obviously takes up even more space if you want to do it like that. As you can see, the Death Star here, yeah, that is a super tall set, and I have it sideways on this shelving unit, so there's a ton of room right here that I, yeah, cannot optimize right now. and yeah, just take some shelving space. That's why I recommend these PAX units here. These are the deepest ones, so you can get quite a decent amount of sets on there without it looking too cluttered, which is also another point that I like to take care of. I don't like when it looks like everything is just crammed into one shelf. I've maybe seen on other YouTube videos where people just have a ton of sets, and yeah, you can't really see what's behind the first row. So yeah, I don't really like that. I kind of organize it with these helmets here, for example. I have the taller sets in the back that you can still see them pretty nicely, and then the shorter uh, sets like the helmets there, so you can see those and see the sets in the back. And yeah, it's kind of your choice how you want to display them. Obviously, some people get display cases for all their sets. For me, that doesn't make too much sense, because then yeah, you run out of even more space to put the sets, because then you have the boxes obviously that yeah, maybe take up space that you could put another set there, or have the yeah, other minifigures or what have you. So that's why I don't buy the acrylic boxes. There are some super nice ones. I would like to have even more space, obviously, but yeah, kind of have to work with what I got. So that's why I don't do that. But yeah, obviously with the Lego City, the more sets I get, I kind of start shuffling things around, and yeah, the displays can kind of change, but I like to just keep everything by theme. So that's kind of how I do that. Um, yeah, moving is kind of a big point. If you already own a house, or yeah, own where you're living, then it's not an issue. But for people that are maybe renting, um, having a collection in this size is pretty nerve-wracking to move. I just moved, yeah, kind of in the start of summer, and yeah, had to move most of these sets with myself, and that yeah, is pretty stressful, as maybe you can imagine, because bumps and packing things correctly, and obviously Lego is pretty fragile, so if you just tilt a set the wrong way, then it can already break apart. So that's kind of yeah, maybe where I would suggest maybe holding off until you have a place that you know you can be there for at least a long time, if you don't own it or own something that you know you yeah, will never have to move out of there, because it's a big undertaking, especially with having shelving units like this. You have to take everything apart again, and yeah, all the Lego. It does take quite a few trips with the car to move all these Lego, and yeah, it's probably the most stressful thing about having a collection this size. The next point I have here is dust. Uh, Obviously, we've probably all dealt with dust before. In this room here, it's for me not a big problem. They do get a little dusty, but not so bad. The last place I was at had carpet floor in it, so that was very bad with dust. Yeah, what I use for dusting is a kind of a compressed air. It's like a reverse vacuum, I like to call it. There you just have to kind of be careful that it doesn't blow the pieces off the sets, because it is fairly strong. I think it's mainly supposed to be used for TVs, so you don't have to have cloth to clean the TV. You can just blow the dust off. So that's what I use. But as I said, in this room it's not so bad, and I guess it kind of depends on what kind of flooring you have. I always keep this window here closed, So I think that kind of helps a little bit. So yeah, that's how I handle my dust situation. I guess the optimal way would be to have acrylic boxes that you can just put your sets in right after building them. But as I said, I don't use those. So that's how I dust my sets. The next thing I have here is impulse buying, or the fear of missing out on sets. I personally have this, but in the way that I want sets that in the time I wasn't collecting, were out and now are retired. So that's kind of, my fear of missing out, because as time goes on, those sets will probably get more and more expensive. So I like to pick them up as soon as I can. I also set a certain amount of money aside for the Lego collection. Obviously, don't spend all your money on Lego just because it's your hobby. I think each hobby has kind of a healthy median in it. If you spent all your money and don't have money for things that are actually important, then then no hobby is fun if you're fighting for survival with other means. So yeah, I would say try to budget for it. Obviously, different budgets for different people. I set a certain amount aside that I can, maybe I'll buy one more expensive set, or some smaller sets like the Lego City sets that I've recently made videos about. And just kind of see what's out there, what's coming out. But it's kind of a game of catch up for me still at the moment. So I'm looking for sets that as I said, wasn't collecting like 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm looking to find those for a good price. And it's also kind of waiting to see when prices go down, maybe for a certain set. Maybe they make a re-release of something and then the original set price goes down. Kind of things like that. Obviously, new sets I'm also trying to pick up as much as I can, because if those retire, then the prices go up. So trying to minimize that as best as I can without overspending. Also, I have here emotional attachment to sets. That's kind of why I collect Lego, is just purely for nostalgic reasons. Some sets I think are just cool that I want to build and that'll look cool on display. But sets, obviously, like Star Wars, growing up watching Star Wars, who doesn't want an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter or Imperial Shuttle or the Millennium Falcon? That's why I buy sets like from Lego Star Wars or the Disney sets or Lord of the Rings. Other sets are just cool to build, like the Loop Coaster here, or like the Titanic or Speed Champions. Those are just purely sets that I think look cool and want to buy. Or these cars back here, like the Porsche 911 and the Lamborghini Countach. I like cars, so that's why I picked those up. But you can kind of get into a problem there if you start to like too many aspects of Lego. You start to get into a problem if your funds are not unlimited. Obviously, if you have unlimited money, then it's no issue, and unlimited space. But if you have a limited budget and a limited space, like I do here, then you kind of have to really see what you like the most and what's worth taking up space, because the more sets you have, the less space you get. And I also have a ton of other sets that I have not built. So this is maybe, if you're just taking the set count, this is probably half of what I own. Everything else is still in boxes waiting to be built. So that's kind of my take on that. But moving into another point, it is very time consuming. Yeah, depending on the size of the Lego set, it can take many hours. I think the Titanic, without kind of, yeah, just building it to build it, I kind of built that as I wanted to, but yeah, I didn't have too many breaks in between. I think that took me about 30 to 40 hours to build the Lego Titanic, which is obviously one of the biggest Lego sets. But yeah, just keep in mind it takes a ton of time to build all these sets. Since I've started the YouTube channel, I've also kind of kept that as a priority, that I still want to keep this just mainly as a hobby. So I don't really, go and buy a set and then spend all day building it just so I have it built to make a review out of it. I just build it as I want to, and take some breaks in between and come back to it just when I feel like building again, just so it remains a hobby. So if you also want to start a Lego YouTube channel or something like this, I would suggest keeping the focus of your hobby in the forefront instead of just making sets to have a video about it, because yeah, after that, obviously you want to go get a different set, and then yeah, if you want to just build it as fast as possible, and then I think it just kind of takes the fun out of it. If you, let's say, don't feel like building, but yeah, have to build it for a video, yeah, I would suggest to just keep it as a hobby. That's what I do with this YouTube channel. If it takes off, then awesome, obviously. I like to see people subscribing and enjoying the content. That's yeah, another main focus on this channel, is to give you unbiased reviews and opinions on all these sets that I have. Because yeah, obviously there's maybe not so many people that can have something like this. I also started collecting in a one bedroom, and there you really have to kind of take care of the space that you have, and yeah, really think twice about getting bigger sets because you have limited space. And yeah, to make the most of that space, I think there's also some smaller sets that are really nice to display. Not Doesn't always have to be the $1,000 or even the $500 and $600 sets to make a nice display. So yeah, keep that in mind. There's plenty of smaller, cheaper sets that are also super nice. So yeah, I have one point here of sensitivity to sunlight and the temperature to keep Lego in. As you can see, I keep the window closed there, even the shutters are closed, to minimize the amount of sunlight that comes into this room. For me, it's never really been a huge problem. I've had sets like the Imperial Shuttle here that have had some yellowing bricks, but yeah, I just bought new white bricks on Bricklink and replaced those. But obviously I have some other white sets here, like the Concorde, the Artemis rocket, and these, yeah, the Lamborghini Countach and the Porsche 911 there next to the window. Obviously they're not affected by direct sunlight, but yeah, I just keep all the sun out of here. That's why I have this pretty bright light. And yeah, as a temperature, I keep it at a normal room temperature. So now in the winter time, I do turn the heat up just a little bit. Just, yeah, if it feels comfortable for me, then I think the room temperature is okay for the Lego brick. I don't think they have a huge problem with being affected by temperature. Obviously, if you were to leave them outside or something, then it's something else. But if they're indoors, I think they should be fine. So yeah, that's kind of all the points covered here. I have also running out of space for new sets. That kind of ties into yeah, making sure that you maybe think twice about what you're buying. I don't have that problem yet, but as I said, these are maybe half of the Lego sets that I have, and yeah, I've used maybe 70 or 60% of the room in here. So yeah, I will get to that point where I will also need some more room. Maybe I'll be doing some reshuffling then. You'd be surprised how much more you can fit after you think you've already hit the threshold of how many sets you can put in a room. I've kind of surprised myself in that regard sometimes. Like this, it just to look not cluttered and kind of, yeah, this is the optimal way I would maybe have things displayed, but if I do need more room, I will find it. So yeah, that's kind of my take on, yeah, buying new sets. I've, yeah, in recent years I've gotten better. Like last year or the year before that, I really kind of went crazy with buying a lot of new sets, even ones that I maybe look back now and think, yeah, maybe I should have saved up that money for maybe towards a nicer set instead of, yeah, just having a set because it looks a little cool. Now I would maybe go back and not buy that set, but yeah, to each their own. I guess everybody has to kind of learn that at some point. So yeah, that's kind of my take on having a Lego collection like this. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Appreciate all the new subscribers. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.